There is a stretch of coastline in southern Africa that sailors have feared for centuries because of what they see there and what they refuse to talk about afterward. The locals call it the Skeleton Coast, and somewhere along its 500 kilometers of fog and shipwrecks and bleached bone, there is a ship with no name. A ship that sailors who've seen will not describe and will not point to on a map. They won't even acknowledge when asked directly. This is the story of that coast and why some things are better left unnamed. The Skeleton Coast runs along what is now Namibia, on the Atlantic side of southern Africa. The Bushmen who lived nearby called it the land God made in anger. Portuguese sailors who first tried to navigate it in the 1400s had a different name. They called it the Gates of Hell. The coastline is a graveyard. Hundreds of ships have wrecked here over 5 centuries, pulled under by rogue waves that appear without warning, swallowed by fogs so thick you lose sight of your own hands, or driven into hidden rocks by winds that change direction mid-storm. And the sailors who survived the wreck face something far worse. They crawl onto the shore only to find hundreds of kilometers of desert with no food, no water, and no way home. The skeletons on this coast belong to both ships and men. Among the wrecks that litter this coast, most have names and dates, stories, but there are a handful that don't. Ships that appeared in the fog and were never identified. Ships that local found abandoned with the crew gone, cargo untouched, and no sign of struggle. Maritime superstition has always had a rule about ships like these. You do not name them or claim them, you do not board them, because in the old sailors' belief system, a ship is a living thing, and a ship that has lost its crew in unknown circumstances has lost its soul. So, naming it, or worse, claiming it, transfers something onto you, something that cannot be put back. There are accounts from fishermen along this coast, some as recent as 1980s and 90s, describing a vessel they would see in the early morning fog. It was always at a distance, and it was always still with no lights and no movement on deck. And it was always gone by the time the fog had lifted. One elderly fisherman reportedly said, "There are things on this coast that want to be forgotten. The kindest thing you can do is let them." The most documented wreck on the Skeleton Coast is of the Dunedin Star, a British cargo ship that ran aground in November 1942, carrying war supplies and 21 passengers. The rescue operation that followed became one of the most catastrophic in the history of the coast. 3 separate rescue ships were sent. 2 of them also wrecked trying to reach the survivors. A rescue plane crash landed on the beach and couldn't take off again. For weeks, they say, the survivors, including women and children, were stranded in the desert, visible from the water, completely unreachable. They were eventually saved, but the people who survived the Skeleton Coast rescue spoke about the experience in ways that unsettled those who listened. Not about the physical ordeal, but about what they heard at night on the beach, sounds that they couldn't explain. Nobody recorded what those sounds were. Nobody pressed them to explain, and somehow the silence is more disturbing than anything that they could have said. The Skeleton Coast is still there, and it's still claiming ships. The wrecks are still visible. You can find photographs of rusted hulls, half swallowed by desert sand, sitting kilometers from the waterline because the sea has slowly retreated, leaving them stranded in a place they were never meant to be. And somewhere in those photographs, if you look carefully at the fog in the background, some people say you can see a shape. Just a shape, no name, no flag, no crew. Some things on this coast want to be forgotten. The question is whether forgetting them is actually enough.